Hello there. Welcome to How Mill Market Works with me. My name is Bryce. I'm the procurement specialist for New England for Mill Market. And today I'm going to be going over just a couple of details about how you can maximize the amount of value that you get for your logs, as well as a little bit of a history as to how we got started. Mill Market was started by my friend Mike back when he was a forester out in California. See, his job was to survey lands that had either damage due to wildfires or were in the path of wildfires that were wreaking havoc on the land. And he would go and mark out various trees that needed to be cut down or removed or dealt with so that those fires would not completely destroy the land. And when he was out there, he saw all of these trees that were just being felled and then thrown directly into a chipper for no additional use. He watched all of this happen and he said, there has to be something that we can do with all of that wood instead of just burning it or throwing it into the chipper. And so he started Mill Market. And the idea is that we want to take something that was a problem, your headache that is wood, and we want to turn it into something that you can actually make money off of, something that will help you and your business grow more. Now, we find that wood generally causes three particular issues for tree services. Either it costs a lot of money for those tree services to deal with that wood, it takes a lot of time for those tree services to deal with that wood, or the wood takes up a lot of space that could otherwise be getting put to better use. So what we do is we take that problem that you're already dealing with and we make it so that it's now an asset. You're going to already spend time cutting those trees so that they are able to be moved from the job site to your yard, so might as well do a little extra work and get paid a lot more money. How Mill Market works is in 4 easy steps. First, you prepare and stack your logs. Second, you send a picture to either me or whoever your procurement specialist is for the region. Third, we send a truck out to your site and you load the logs onto your truck, or we get somebody else to load them on for you. And fourth, you get paid for those logs. Millmarket.net is built to save you time and money. It's built so that you can see the work that you've done and the logs that you've sent. A couple of ways that you can make sure that you're set up for faster pickups and better pay are by debranching and cleaning. When you're preparing your logs, make sure that there's no branches, no dirt, no stones, nothing that would prevent a mill from being able to cut through that log easily and make a nice clean board out of it. Then you're going to cut the logs to length. Cutting the logs to length will make sure that mills are getting exactly what they need. Mills will ask for anywhere from 8.5 foot all the way up to potentially 20.5 foot logs. When the logs are going through the mill, little portions are going to get cut and shaved off here and there, and they will still have an 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot, 14 foot, 16 foot, 18 foot, or 20 foot length to deal with at the end. Making sure that the log is properly cut to length will ensure that you get the best money for that log. Making sure that you stack your logs neatly will make it much easier for the procurement specialist to look at those logs and say, yes, those are good logs. Those are logs that we need. Or no, there's something that can be done here. Either way, a nice neat stack will give us the insight that we need to be able to help you get more money out of your logs. Sometimes there's a piece of metal in them. Sometimes there's a crack that runs through the whole thing. Sometimes there's a rock pocket, and now those logs aren't useful. So if you can look for those logs before or as you're stacking them, that will save you time, and that will make sure that you don't put a log that can't be used on that truck, and that will overall save you money and improve your payout. Here's a side-by-side example of some logs that are good and some logs that are bad. Notice the good log pile. We have lots of faces that are all right next to each other. They're nicely compressed and nicely stacked in such a way that I can tell, and hopefully you can tell, just by looking at that pile, that there aren't any branches sticking out, there aren't any bends or limbs or anything that would make it so that those logs are not nice, neat cylinders. Because that's what we're going for, is a nice, neat cylinder. We want to make sure that when that log shows up to the mill, that mill says, wow, this is beautiful. I can take a piece right out of this, turn it into a beautiful looking board. On the right, you can see that these logs are not as good. You can see all of the little branches that are sticking out. You can see the little voids between the faces. We've got a large void right here. We've got another large void right here. We've got some split ends, things that are not nice and neatly cut. We've got a lot of debarked wood. We've got a lot of rotten looking wood. These logs are logs that will generally and categorically be denied by mills. They do not want these logs because they can't make a nice, neat 2x4 that you would go down to Home Depot or Lowe's or Ace or whatever your local hardware store is and buy for yourself. Meet Doug. Doug is a longtime supplier of ours. He does approximately 10 loads per year, and each load he makes about $1,800. If you're able to do that math quickly, you might realize that $1,800 times 10 loads a year, well, that's an easy $18,000 per year that he's making off of something that otherwise would have been a burden. What Doug does with that money is he puts it into a bank account where he leaves it. He doesn't touch it until he needs a new piece of equipment. And he uses that money to put down payments and pay off various machines that he uses every single day, just from something that used to be a dump run. Mill Market is all about trust, ease, and consistency. We want to make sure that you are making the best and most well-informed decisions that you possibly can for you and your business. And to us, that means making sure that you are getting the best possible prices for what it is that you are giving us. We want to make sure that you and your business grow with us. We want to be your partner. We want to be somebody who you can rely on to make sure that your business is going to do well. We want to make sure that that whole process is easy. In a perfect world, all you would have to do is send a picture of your logs to your procurement specialist, say, I'm ready for a pickup, and then we would send a truck right out to you, and they would pick them up, and then you would get paid. That level of ease is what we are going for. Now, of course, there's going to be a learning curve, and all of us are constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly getting better. We want to take you from where you are now to somebody who's making beautiful, mill-ready loads on a consistent basis. We want to make sure that we are always available as an outlet for your logs. We work with a bunch of different mills to try to find you different places that you can be sending your wood. By working with a bunch of different places, we are making sure that you're getting the best price and we can always buy your logs. We are ready to move your logs no matter what time of year and no matter what's going on. We will try to make sure that they are moved as quickly and as easily as possible. So, are you ready to start today? If you are, you have 3 simple things to do. First, prepare and stack your logs. Make sure that they look nice. Make sure that they're ready for the mill. Then, once they are ready for the mill, take some pictures. Third, send it to me or send it to your procurement specialist for your region. Once you're ready, we'll be excited to bring you on as a partner and get you started on your mill market journey.